Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to episode 3 of the Hallmark of Greatness podcast. A podcast dedicated to highlighting the beauty of all things Hallmark, Lifetime, and straight-to-TV movies that don't get the admiration they fully deserve. I'm Anthony Burke, and joining me as always are my wonderful co-hosts. He's wearing a backwards cap, glasses, and has grown his fringe out in an effort to look younger. That's Joe Higgins.
I need all the help I can get at the moment. Yeah.
And he's in hiding from the authorities in an unknown cave after a night of cow-tipping. It's Craig Lowe.
Well, you know, they are cracking down on that during this COVID times. They don't want any cows tipped. Where would the beef be?
A lot of livestock-based crimes are up to.
Got to keep yourself busy in these hard times.
How are we both doing? Craig, how's your elbow?
Yeah, I think I have an extra sort of centimetre of movement in it. Rotation of the wrist is doing well, so we're doing good. Okay.
Joe, how are you?
Fine. Nothing changes, does it?
No. We've got a question, boys. We've got a
One
question.
A real person.
A real person.
Not a bot.
Not a bot. No. This question is a fan question from Kirsten, 1878.
Okay.
She says, assuming she, good morning, Anthony. Good afternoon, Joe. Good evening, Craig.
Evening.
First of all, really enjoyed the first 2 episodes. I'm a huge fan of these movies. Some other podcasts are a little too soppy or fluffy for my liking, but yours is an honest and comical take, which I love. These films shouldn't be taken seriously, and you guys really highlight that. My question is, why only once every other week? There's enough of these films for one every day of the week. Please, can we have more?
Well,
and she ends it with, also, since Valentine's Day is coming up, can I recommend a Valentine's match? Much love, Kirsten.
Okay, well, you can recommend it, which will add it to the pile, Craig.
A Valentine's match. Craig, you're in charge of it.
But that's not the only request we've had to do more than one a fortnight, to be honest. We also got a message from someone called BBG who said that, you should, as there is such an abundance of these things, you should do more of them. It's purely down to the constraints of time. There's only so much time in a week to watch these without all blurring together or your brain becoming custard, really.
Oh, but all right then. All right. We'll go one a week then.
We're going to try. Well, we'll try it for our special Valentine's month.
Well, that's going to be next. We'll
have
Welcome to Valentine's month, everyone.
Yes,
we're going to attempt to do one a week, all Valentine's themed. Yeah, I believe, isn't it?
The month of February is Valentine's. Yes,
it's that 28-day month, which has fallen perfectly rectangular in the calendar this year, as the first falls on a Monday. So if you look at your calendars, it's a perfect rectangle this year.
Oh, nice! I like that.
Yeah, the OCD in me absolutely loves that.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, we're going to try and go for one a week, and we will take the recommendation.
There is a massive asterisk next to the word "try." I would imagine that.
It's getting everyone together and stuff. Everyone's got responsibilities and things. But for you, the fan,
Kirsten, 1878, which I can only assume is year of birth.
Yeah, I was going to say.
If you'd like to keep up to date with all things Hallmark of Greatness, you can follow the show on Twitter at Hallmark of Great. Or if you'd like to get in touch with any recommendations or thoughts or anything you think we may have missed, you can email the show at hallmarkofgreatness@gmail.com.
We are also on the Instagram now as well.
We are also on Instagram now.
So you'll have to update that a little bit. It's at Hallmark of Greatness, I believe.
Allows more characters than Twitter.
Yeah. Nice. I don't know. I can't remember. I set it up. I have no idea what I'm doing with Instagram.
I'll look now. Hang on.
I'd hand that off to my wife, really. She understands things like
that. There it is. It's Hallmark of Greatness.
There you go. Right.
Excellent.
Right. Into the film, All Things Valentine.
All Things Valentine.
You know it's going to be good when this is the music.
Oh, that's not. That's the theme music we have for every episode that introduces the
Okay.
Come on.
Sorry. All right. What were your predictions based on All Things Valentine and the poster?
Well, the poster is rather vague, but I presumed that it was the story of a couple that captured a magical balloon that took them to a cartoon world this Valentine's Day, because there is no other reason for it to be a cartoon drawing of the city in the background, as opposed to every other Hallmark film, which actually has a shot of Seattle or Vancouver in the background.
Portland in this case. Joe?
Again, I don't look at the posters. I just go purely off the title.
All Things Valentine.
All Things Valentine. Helen Valentine runs a dating agency called Valentines. with her ethnically diverse assistants, Val and Tina. Her world is turned upside down when local acoustic guitar troubadour / lawyer, Chip Valentine Johnson, comes into her office looking for a date for an upcoming Valentine's open mic showcase concert. Will she find him a Valentine in Valentine?
Oh, you wrote a tagline.
Again, write this
I missed
down.
my calling in life.
I think we know what's going to be our year next year.
So
Christmas, we're going to write Christmas one, Valentine's one, Easter.
Yeah.
Go on then. What is the actual?
Actual synopsis? All Things Valentine. Despite dishing out advice, relationship blogger Avery is losing faith in love after a string of disappointing Valentine's days.
No.
But all that changes when she meets handsome veterinarian Brendan.
No.
However, she soon discovers that Brendan is the one who has been leaving rude comments on her blog and blaming it for breakups. Now she must work out if their love is genuine or yesterday's news. It was a big old synopsis, that one.
The longest one we've had yet. Well, I have done a thing, and if you want to, we can listen to the actual movie trailer to see if that gives us any insight
go ahead.
into what the film is about. So,
She was unlucky in love.
Will you be my Valentine?
Not a fan of Valentine's Day, I see.
No, not really.
Until one Valentine's Day changed everything.
I'm sorry. That was me.
From lonely heart
I'm starting to believe in love again.
to hopeless romantic.
I really like him.
A Hallmark Channel original movie.
You are the most wonderful person I've ever met.
All Things Valentine. On Hallmark Channel. The heart of Valentine's Day.
oh,
I didn't really give much away, that, to be honest.
it doesn't give anything away, does it?
I assumed,
No.
yeah.
But I liked it because I like Hallmark, the heart of Valentine's Day, and they drill that point home in this, don't they? I've never known people get so upset about Valentine's Day.
Crazy. The amount of pressure they put onto Valentine's Day.
Just
I think I wrote, they treat it like it's Christmas Day.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say this is an alternate universe where weeks before Valentine's Day, everyone's homes and businesses are all decked out in complete Valentine paraphernalia. It's just everywhere. It's just an unrealistic alternate universe where Jesus was not born, and the best we have to celebrate is
Saint
this day of
Valentine.
love.
Our Lord and Saviour, St. Valentine.
We need to go and buy more silk flowers, is a line that's issued at one point. Do you? You're a vet.
What's the time frame of this movie?
You're obsessed with time frames of
Because
films.
it baffles me.
I would say
I am presuming it starts on the 1st of February, is
That
where
one.
I'm
It's only a
guessing.
2-week gap, and a lot happens in that 2
yeah,
weeks.
because she has to write. She has to
Yeah,
write
yeah.
a column. I'm sure she says she has to write a column for 2 weeks. So I'm assuming that's
Just a lot.
the run up. Well, there's a year. Well, there is a year previous, isn't there, at the start? So if we're going to go into it. Let's
A lot of
It's
these
sort of
films-
nebulous because
I was going to say, a lot of these films, it seems to have a big event that comes up seemingly a week away, and then about 3 months worth of things happen
in a short space of
in
time.
that short space of time.
I'm sorry, are we unfamiliar with the Harlequin romance?
Sorry.
Time frames are inconsequential in these things. It's a series of events that are sort of interconnected somehow, but not.
Yeah.
So, I mean, opening credits on Amazon Prime: drug use, sexuality, and violence. None of these.
Where,
things-
where, and where?
Lied to again by Amazon Prime.
I don't know, whoever's in charge of Amazon Prime's rating system
Copy and paste every film.
all
They're
has
just-
a very, very different idea of what these words mean.
They're just having a laugh because it literally says above that rated U, and it's like, no.
There's no drug use.
Nope.
There's very little sexuality.
Yeah.
It's the most cardboard
Yeah.
thing I've ever seen in the world. And violence, unless you count jogging.
There wasn't even like a punch of an ex-boyfriend or anything like that. There was
Nope.
nothing in that. Yeah.
I got very excited and then very disappointed.
I tell you why I got excited. Initial music, normally it's all nice and jingly. This was some dance, upbeat music.
Yeah, I noticed the music throughout this film. There was genuinely some sort of they've paid people. It felt
like,
like.
They've actually invested some money into it.
There's a bit later on where I was like, have they got like an off-brand Fleetwood Mac tribute band to do this? The cafe had the best music, as I recall.
I forget.
So we open with Avery, our heroine. I don't remember.
Avery,
her name.
aka non-union Amy Adams.
Oh, I was going to say non-union Isla Fisher.
Yeah,
It's one of the two.
I went with Isla Fisher, yeah.
I went Amy Adams.
She does look more like Amy Adams, to be
Yeah.
fair, but yeah. Carrying balloons through the streets in a John E. upbeat thingy. She then sees what we assume is her current boyfriend not really doing it. Oh, maybe that's the sexuality. I think they kiss.
Oh, so it's right off the
Dare
bat.
Man, it's hardcore pornography, that, isn't it? And she releases the balloons.
And
Which I
runs
got
off.
quite angry about because like they drift off and like murder swans, them balloons.
I think the funniest part of this entire shot, first of all, the quickest
Wait, wait.
arsehole turn I
They
thought
go for
in
murder
history.
swans.
Yeah, they drift up in the air and then they land and then like they strangle swans.
Oh, on purpose?
No, like swans get tangled up in
Vindictive.
them.
No.
No,
It's
not
only
like all
Valentine's Day
helium
balloons that
and-
get swans. Birthday balloons get the geese.
No, so the
Christmas
geese.
ones get ducks.
Who releases balloons at Christmas? No, it's just one of those things. You shouldn't have helium balloons. They're terrible for the environment. And swans.
I think the funniest thing was, though, you could tell it was the exact same set of balloons. They only had one set of these 3 balloons, and that she let go of it. They captured the seconds of her walking away. Then they absolutely legged it to reset up to try and get the shot looking up at these balloons before they disappeared out of sight. So I was like, these are already quite far off for this shot.
Yeah, we'll get to it later, but I'm pretty sure they're the same balloons from one of the final scenes.
No, they're not.
Are they not?
No.
Are they different?
Believe me, I checked.
Okay.
Because they've got 1 tin of helium and they're using it for every balloon they can get.
Okay.
And we meet her dog, Busby,
Busby.
who is the star of the show and has some of the best ADR in the entire
Yeah.
film. There's a lot of noises in there that dogs don't make. At one point, a noise like an alarm clock going off, and I'm like, that's not a normal dog. That's why you should go to the vet, because your dog's making robot noises. And we find out.
we find out that she's called Consult the Coach,
Yeah, she's an online
which
blogger.
obviously online blog about relationships, because I think that's 3 out of 3 so far of films that we've
Is it online, though?
covered.
Because she works for a paper called the Portland Banner.
Yes.
And they have publishing stats on this agony aunt column. So I'm in dispute of whether this is an online thing. She gets emails in, but I think the agony aunt thing is a paper-based thing. And as we find out, the All Things Valentine, which is title drop, the series of articles she's being asked to write by her boss, will be for the website, a daily vlog about all things Valentine.
I mean, maybe it has both. It has a print circulation and an online one. I don't know.
Oh, I don't know. C-list Portland newspaper, no, Portland Banner. That's not the #1 paper in Portland, surely.
So like print media is dying out anyway. All right.
Yeah.
But this
If it was online, I wanted to know where they were getting their readership figures from. Did they literally have like a GeoCities, like people who visited your site count ticker at the bottom of it?
a sign-in book. Yeah.
Yeah.
But she answers a response to someone whose name I can't remember.
McKenna.
McKenna. Yeah, but
McKenna. That's
the
it.
screen name that she goes by, I can't remember. But
I assumed it was just going to be a passing part, but she was in it quite a lot.
Prominently.
Yeah.
Good Lord, yeah, third build.
References, you should go out and look for Mr. Right. And I was like, Mr. Right was in the convenient groom. Keep up.
Yeah.
Oh, and then there was a lot of whistling songs, I remember. Yeah. Like a whole song about whistling. I was like, there's not enough whistling songs, is there really? There was that one a couple of years back, and then that's about it.
But obviously she hates Valentines.
Oh, well, within the first 5 minutes, we meet her boss, who is an ethnic minority in a position of power, which is rare in films.
Yeah.
But
they're normally the system.
Still acts as an emotional ballast for the white person in it. And they also name drop the film in that first 5 minutes. Your title of your column will be All Things Valentine.
Yeah.
And I was like, there we go.
Again, that seems to happen a lot in these films.
I might do a countdown timer of how long it is before the name's dropped in each one.
It's like that Family Guy gag where he's watching
newspaper-
the films. Oh, they said Superman. Sorry, go on.
But what newspaper editor has enough time to mollycoddle their agony aunt, who literally just needs to show up to the office once a week to drop off her responses? And she's devoting far too much time to this.
Given that it was a dwindling viewership or readership, that she was having as well.
Yes.
Spent far too long on it. But yeah, she
The
hates
only thing that
Valentine's.
saves her career is bench the coach, to be honest.
Oh, yeah.
And
We've got a family meal next.
a family meal.
There's always a family meal at this
Nobody
point.
eats, but there is a big salad on the table, so I'm taking a tick for that one. Thank you.
Oh, you got it. Oh,
Yeah.
And the nobody eats part as well. Excellent.
Nobody eats. That's another trope that we're going to keep maintaining of.
This is becoming a trope where after the initial "this is what you need to do" part of the film, it's a family meal or with the parents where they then discuss the next part of the film.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, it's a sort of shame on you, you're single discussion, followed by you need to get to X next.
And we get to meet Jeremy, the child.
Is that the kid's name?
Jeremy. Yeah.
I know,
Alright.
bold choice. We got a child in this. This is the first time we've come across.
Pretty
Good
good
acting
acting.
advice from.
I think to be fair, best actor in the film, best human actor in the film
I was
after
going
the
to
dog.
say Busby did the thing. But why are they still putting food on their plates when Jeremy is sat on his own eating?
Because he's been bad.
I was thinking, because
Yeah.
I was like, Jeremy, you're eating on your own.
Yeah.
And then I was like, why is everyone so obsessed at this point on
Oh,
Valentine's Day? Because they go on
crazy.
about it like it's
Like it's Chris. Like I said, it's like
Yeah,
it's
like
Christmas.
it's
This
Christmas.
seems
Yes,
to.
Well, like I say, it's the parents' house where the staircase is literally decorated with red and white flowers and love hearts all the way down. There's love heart displays on the wall. I was just like, where are you getting all this from? I walk into Asda and I can get a card and a box of roses, and that's about it. I'm not getting any cutouts.
Even
Like,
not to be horrible, but you can get chocolates any day of the year. It's not a special Valentine's Day thing.
say
I know
what?
America do go over the top with some decorations, but do they go this far for Valentine's Day?
I don't think they do for Valentine's. Do
I
they?
didn't
It's
think
not
they
like
did,
a
but-
Halloween thing.
These films definitely make it seem like it.
Possibly.
Like every house on the street has a big
And then we cut to,
inflatable love heart outside.
I love more than you across the street at number 42.
yeah, Love Day. You didn't have Lord Huggington? It's the same basic bear, Homer. Yeah. Sorry, it's the Simpsons. And then we got to McKenna on her date with
Oh, yeah.
Brandon. Right. Is he called Brandon?
Called Brandon, yeah.
Yeah.
Not Brendan.
Brandon.
Brendan.
Non-union Dave Franco.
Yeah. Yeah, I couldn't put the finger on who it
Thing
was.
is, he's from Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. He plays a role in that where he's called Jeremy. So we called him Jeremy all the way through, which is confusing because the little kid's called Jeremy as well.
He's also in House. He's actually a relatively big actor for these because he's in House of Cards as well for a run.
Oh, see?
And something else as well. I didn't write it down, but I've lost my
But
sheet.
fun fact that I learned.
He's in Mad Men.
Mad Men, that was it, yeah.
In the
Mad Men.
credits at the end, the small child that plays Jeremy the child, his real name is Tony Bolognaise. Which is not a real name, is it? That's the name I've clearly made up. Oh, Tony Bolognaise. Great, I love it. Yeah, they're obsessed with Valentine's Day. She's upset that they're not going out for Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Like the fact that they're out in clearly quite a posh restaurant.
But also, he said he has to work. Maybe you'll find
Well,
out
I have
later that's
issue with
clearly
this
not the
later
case.
Because he doesn't have to work. Because
No, I
later
know.
on, he agrees to go out on a date.
Yes, I know. But he said, but she got angry because he has to work on Valentine's. Who cares?
What vet works on Valentine's Day?
Most
Well, not just
do.
Valentine's
It
Day.
depends what
Valentine's
the
Day
agreement
night. You can forgive him for like doing a 9 till 5 in the clinic.
is. Well, they said he was in emergency, but he sounds like he's a surgeon of some sort. So if a dog gets run down, I
He
assume.
does nothing. He does
Yeah, I know.
nothing.
There is no vetting going on in this film at all.
Yeah.
And that,
I'll get to that
she
bit in a
just
minute.
stomps off. Well, she makes him read the advice that some random stranger on the internet has given her, and then he understandably gets annoyed about it.
Yeah.
As you would.
Yeah. Well, why are you following this advice? What-
Yeah. Why
got nothing to do
are
with
you
her?
not talking to me about this first?
Yeah.
Not to be horrible, but yeah, we could have spoke about this before you wrote
Yeah.
to a random person, and so you wrote to
And then
dear Brenda.
instantly took their advice.
I mean,
All because you can't go out on Valentine's Day.
yeah, it's not a big deal. Valentine's Day meals were a rip off anyway.
Yeah. Go out the day after. Cheaper flowers, cheaper meals. It's leftovers for
Come
everyone.
off a grave like I do.
They don't need them.
Then we get to Brandon running around a park with his best mate, whose name escapes me.
No,
Kit.
Busby the dog isn't feeling well, and I suspect
Oh yeah, sorry.
Jeremy Bolognaise has poisoned him. That's why he had to sit on his own, because he was feeding the dog Valentine's chocolate.
Feeding the dog chocolate, yeah.
He disguised it as Bolognese. Then juggling. Oh, sorry, jogging. Yeah, you're right.
Jogging, yeah.
Yeah.
For some reason, right at 14:04 in this film, 14 minutes 4 seconds, it weirdly goes out of focus.
I didn't notice that, to be honest.
Almost as if they got one take and it was moving on.
It seemed to me it went weirdly out of focus and then came because I checked it 3 times to make sure it wasn't my TV or anything like
Put it in the
that.
can, moving on.
Yeah.
We're outside near a waterfront. We have 10 minutes to do not only this shot, but another shot that we need later in the film.
Yeah.
So come on, snappy.
So this is where he announced he's gonna troll the coach.
Yeah,
He's gonna give us some online abuse.
which is
Yeah.
only good things have ever come from that.
Yeah.
We cut into the cafe where McKenna works along with her friend
Prue.
Prue. Thank you again.
Who I think may have been the owner of the cafe, but I couldn't quite tell.
Either that or she's sort of designated assistant manager.
Yeah.
She was very, Yeah, and then there was a load of hilarity involving a raspberry scone.
Yes.
And at this point, I'm literally going to the TV. There are too many characters. There are too many locations.
There
I'm
was
already
somewhat.
confused.
Oh, this is Kit's best mate who also is in love with Prue.
Or as we will
can't
refer
tell
to
her.
it from now on, movie number 2 that is taking place simultaneously within our already existing movie.
And yet McKenna gets to be in both.
Yeah, well, she's the bridge between both worlds.
Yeah.
She's the crossover. She's the Agent Coulson of this Hallmark cinematic universe.
McKenna is a non-union Katie Holmes.
Okay.
No, I'll take that.
Yeah. Fine. No.
The role was lesser than Katie Holmes would, but yeah, I see it.
And also, at the end of that sequence where they're sat on the couch talking after, is he called Kit?
Kit, yeah.
Leaves. Prue has real difficulty standing up.
I saw that. The flailing arms.
I can do acting, but I can't stand up at the same time. I'm sorry.
I saw that.
I have to sit in. The veterinary surgery has, ticks the box, an ethnic assistant. So that's that box.
Yeah.
Who cares a lot about, whose job basically seems to be putting flowers out and asking for more flowers.
It's Valentine's. You need more flowers.
You're a vet. You really don't. That's not how you make your money. You make your money on food and dog toys that you have in there.
Yeah.
The biggest surprise of this comes up where he's bad mouthing, or he's writing to the coach, but coincidentally, his next patient, Avery.
Yeah.
With Busby the dog.
Busby at this point beeps. This is when I wrote Busby makes a beeping noise. And he tells
Well, this is supposed to be our meet cutes.
Oh, yes. It is supposed to be, but unfortunately.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be but doesn't he say something along the lines of, "You're my favourite dog," implying that they have visited this place multiple times
he says favourite type of dog.
Ah, Mr.
He
Type.
had a dog very similar to this.
Yeah.
Child. He says it was an awesome story about how he became a vet, and it isn't an awesome story.
Well, I liked this when he's finished giving them a prescription for paracetamol or something. I don't know what it was. She says, "You're really good with him. He's a vet. He's gonna be good with animals."
Well, you'd think so, wouldn't you? Otherwise, it's not. You missed the chinnery from the League of Gentlemen, aren't you? But he tells this awesome story about how his dog was sick and he took it to the vet, and the vet
fixed him
and said, "What was it? I offered to pay him with my pocket money," and he said, "No, you can come and work here for 4 years."
4 years. 4 years.
Was he molested?
Those vet bills are huge.
Did the vet molest him?
He was groomed.
I'm thinking 4 years is a long time to pay off a debt. And then there's some excellent music at this point. I think as they're walking out of the room, there's some like great Seinfeld style music. Also, another fun thing I noticed is they were leaving the examination room. The light switch was a little dog.
What was it?
Yeah, it was like,
that's nice.
Oh, that's nice. And I'm not sure how time.
Implying that they actually filmed in a vet's. They actually filmed in a vet's then.
Or someone that actually paid attention to detail at this point.
At
At this point,
what do
not
you
for
think
else.
you're watching?
He offers to take their picture for the wall.
Oh yeah.
Fame at a vet's. Is that the thing?
I
That's
thought that was like for places that do massive food and things like that, isn't it?
Like an eating challenge,
Yeah.
as opposed to,
Not just-
"Well done, your pet's not dead. Let's have a picture."
Another one we saved.
Saved another.
How big was that fucking camera, though, that he got out to take the picture with?
Yeah.
It was like one of those huge underwater ones that Jacques Cousteau used.
Is this where she invites him to the confectionery class?
The adult confectionery.
The adult confectionery.
I was
Yes.
going to be like, he's making chocolate willies and stuff, isn't he? That's, no.
No, the most overpriced and ridiculous chocolate making course of all time. I literally have written down here: learn how to make chocolate fondue.
Is that not just melting chocolate?
It's melted
Step 1,
chocolate.
melt
that's right then.
chocolate.
Yeah.
Step 2, eat. That'll be $100, please.
No, we meet Lisa the confectioner.
What's she called, Lisa?
Lisa the confectioner.
Is it like Hannah? What was it last week's? Hannah the.
Oh, I'll have to go through my notes.
Oh, I
Hannah
forget.
the florist.
Hannah the florist, yeah.
Lisa the confectioner, who berates a woman for saying that candy corn is only available at Halloween. He was like,
Which it is.
Looks so upset, that woman as well.
but I was like, fuck you, I'm going home then. Come here to learn how to make chocolate fondue.
Yeah.
Oh, the place was called Le Chocolatier as well, because it's like, there's no thought gone into these. Also, you've clearly done research. That pineapple is very caramelized. And then
We
when
watched Bake Off once or twice.
then when he eats that blackcurrant or whatever it is, he nearly creams his pants. The face he pulls is not a face I've ever made eating fruit. Sorry.
Yeah, then they're walking out and they arrange a second date after this.
And a very long sequence that it didn't seem to go anywhere, that bit.
Oh no, I found a lot of the times that they're on their dates and talking, incredibly dull. Yeah. Not a lot happens. The only thing I found out is that he was a Red Sox fan, so I got excited for a minute. Red Sox mentioned.
Brief moment of sports for Anthony there.
Sports got mentioned. I listened.
We can't afford to shoot any sort of footage in a stadium, Anthony. They're not dating at a Red Sox game.
Well, then, yeah, they arrange a second date. Like I said, not a lot happens in the discussions.
He now has access to a vet free of charge forever, which is
that's true.
Bad. There's also a bit where he texts as bench the coach to her, and he clicks, and then he goes, send! And I'm going to do that on all my text messages. Just to let people know.
Voice activated.
At that point, there was a lot of typing scenes between the two of them.
Yeah, it turned into a poor man's Sex and the City. It was just like Sarah Jessica Horseface was just tapping away at the end of the episode after we've seen far too much nudity. And it wasn't that. It was just poor man's that.
It was just a lot of typing for a good minute or so.
Well, you've got to knock out these articles. You have to suggest the passage of time.
Some very good eyebrow action on her part there, though, I will say. And she gets the instructions to write a column about Valentine's cards, because that's going to be a rip-roarer, isn't it? And she goes to speak to her dad, who says some very questionable things to his dad in that bit. Sorry.
He also still has his Christmas lights outside as well. So I thought
Valentine's lights, Craig.
Yeah, no, they're shooting a Christmas film in the exact same location tomorrow. I can promise you. They've just cut the ass taking them down. Yeah.
He says some very questionable things, including the line, "You stopped making me cards because other men were after your heart." And I was like, that's not a thing that dads say.
No.
Weird.
I do not want a Valentine's card off my grown daughter.
No. Up to about 8, that's fine. Then after that,
it's cute while they're still maybe in primary school. Once they're old enough to be dating other boys, then daddy no need card.
How old is Jeremy? Because he goes on a date.
Yeah.
He must be like 6.
I reckon 6 or 7.
That's not right. I also like the great line, fall down 10 times, get up 11. I'm just going to lie on the floor and cry if that's all right with you, Dad.
I've written down second date next and nothing after it because I can't remember what it was. Nothing happened. Apart from the fact that we learn that she's not a painter, which we learnt earlier. She's not just a painter. She's also a photographer. Never comes up again.
No. It's to show she's creative. That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's shorthand for I'm creative. I do painting, and I also take photographs of street children and the car.
And paint fantasy pictures for the covers of prog albums from the 1980s.
I mean, there's money in it.
Yeah, but it's at this point I paused the film just to do a quick time check and realised there was still a fucking hour of this stuff to go, and I was like, "We're already on the set. What is going to happen? Why are we dragging this out?" It was, it's not.
This is why I'm questioning the time frame of the film. Because there's so much that happened.
Well, we've just met, so we're going to go out every single day before Valentine's Day.
Like.
But we fucking hate Valentine's Day. Let's drive that home every time we speak. We're going to name ourselves the Anti-Valentine's Club.
Craig, I wonder if you can help with something. I figured you might know this.
Yeah.
The next scene was them at the antique shop with her Uncle Henry.
Creepy Uncle Henry.
I'm pretty sure.
There's other scenes before that. Thank you.
Oh, sorry. Well, give me a second. Craig, I'm pretty sure he's the dad from the last film, from Over the Moon in Love.
Oh, was he? I'll be honest with you. I hadn't checked, but he could possibly be. I was too taken aback by his creepiness. He was just sort of like, oh, look it.
Creepy Uncle Henry. No, but at this point, before that, she was told by her boss that people are really loving the column about Valentine's.
I
don't know.
Valentine's Day cards, yeah.
Then there's a great bit where they've tried to cover up the Apple logo on the Mac, but it's clearly visible. And then he comes round. There is sex music playing in the background. Also, what sort of man buys a locket for his mother? That's weird, isn't it?
It's
not only a locket, it has to be an antique locket. He's not just going to H. Samuel's. He's going to British Art Foundation down the road.
Short. she's the only person sending people into creepy Uncle Henry's antique emporium.
Indeed, it didn't look that antique outside. It literally looked like a scrap shop. There was a tricycle and a couple of books outside.
That's antique. You don't know him.
After a quick Google, it is him.
Yeah.
Well
He
done.
played-
Well
oh,
spotted.
yeah.
You can
And
drop
we
on
can
that
see-
point.
And we will see him quite often, it looks like.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Jobber.
But a good point, when they come out of that shop and they go their separate ways, on the door between them is a big heart.
Oh, they move slowly towards it as they're talking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's almost as if they're
Quite
trying
good.
to hide the camera on its tripod as it slowly zooms in. You can see the bottom of the feet and you can see the actual tripod, but you can't actually see the camera because there's a heart in the way. I'm not saying that's the reason it's there, but that's the reason
see,
it's there.
I was a little bit more in the moment where
And I was like, oh, they're trying to do some
this is
sort of
quite an
symbolism
iconic scene.
or
It's a
something.
nice, heartfelt
No,
scene where the
I
movie
was
slowly
literally like, we're zooming in straight down the center of this frame with either of them on the side, and there is a glass reflective surface on there. We are going to see the camera at some point.
Bang some creepy paper on there. Then. Shopping montage next.
Yeah.
with
Yep,
her
is this where,
sister.
where she's trying on dresses with her sister, and she literally turns to her and goes, "I love that color. It's very Valentine's Day, and it's a red dress." I was
That's
like,
exactly
no,
what I've got
no,
here. It's just
no,
a red
no
dress.
fucking shit, love. Well done.
I can't afford this dress. You look like you're in H&M. It's not.
Yeah. Oh no! Do we have to have a film in it where we a clothes shopping montage every film? So it seems like we have to have a discussion over the dressing room curtains.
It's what
I said,
women like, apparently,
there's
isn't
becoming
it?
more and more of these tropes where it's a discussion with the family, a discussion with the father, a discussion trying on dresses.
Yeah.
Then I've got Scones and McSconesy. He fails to ask out the tea lady again.
Oh, the notorious baptism critic. Yeah, he comes in to speak
The
to her.
secondary
He's
film,
terrible
as
at
Greg
it,
put it.
and then Prue goes over and does some excellent counting the receipts acting.
It was like catsup ketchup.
And they go to the hidden Mexican restaurant, El Adobe.
Oh, dinner at Roy's.
AKA
That's what I wrote down. It's Roy.
the whitest Mexican restaurant in the history of Mexican
You
restaurants.
know it's a Mexican restaurant because there is Mexican music playing in the background.
Yeah.
You meet Roy, the overly creepy owner, who doesn't want his business to succeed because that means more work for him. That's why he franchised Roy. He invites them to a party on Valentine's Day, which I'm guessing is just an orgy.
Members only jackets.
He invites her and then goes, and a friend, wink, wink. And I'm like, Roy.
But this
Calm
was
down,
again
son.
where I wrote down, as once Roy disappears, it's a bit boring again of their date. I don't know what I'm
almost as if they're
expecting at this point, to be honest, but it just felt like, oh, well, I can skip the next 5 minutes because
He does a joke.
does he though?
No.
Okay.
Anthony, it's almost as if they're two complete strangers that have to literally hide the most important thing in their life at this moment in time for plot convenience.
Yeah.
Like, she is an agony aunt. Surely that's the first thing you tell somebody on the third date?
I wrote fourth off. I wasn't sure.
I was like, I think, depends. Do you count the fixing Busby the dog as a date? Or was that just like, that's the meat?
That's the meat.
isn't it?
That's the
Yeah.
meat cute.
But she tells them that she went through a bad breakup. She lost.
We have to hear
people
this
in-
story again.
And also, someone has a watch with Happy Valentine's Day, and then he goes, "Oh, I have that," and then they laugh. Like
Closest thing to a joke I've seen in any of these films so far. That actually felt like it had been written. It didn't feel like it had been phoned in. They'd gone for a second pass and gone, this might get a chuckle.
Well, I've noticed that Anthony's thing from a while back. He said that at the end of scenes, they just let it run a little bit, like 30 seconds too long on everything.
I expect them to improvise and they're just not
Put
sure
your
what
level
to
one
say.
improv in here now.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, thanks. And I've just got fuck already.
Yeah, I've got enough. I've got enough of this non-date nonsense.
They're going dancing, learning to dance now. And at this point, I was like, how many Groupons is she in? They're going to all these things that like nobody goes to. I like the man who teaches them to dance by just yelling at them.
Yeah. Faster,
I've
slower,
never had
try
anyone
slower.
fail.
That's better.
You're not actually teaching them, you're not showing them moves or anything, are you? You're just yelling at them. And she asks him out. Well, no, they say they're going to go to Roy's orgy on Valentine's Day. And he says he can go, despite telling McKenna.
Yeah, he was working.
He's on call, yeah.
So
does that count as the arsehole turn in this
there is
film?
an asshole turn later on. And this is just like I think they forgot that they said that was the reason to break those up at the start.
I've got Crazy X starts her journey to full-on cray-cray written down here for some reason. So I'm presuming this is when she finds out that he's dating. Is there another coffee shop scene where he comes in and she finds out that that after being dumped 2 weeks before Valentine's Day, shock horror, he's seeing somebody else now, and she gets all offended.
He's allowed to do that. He didn't dump her. It's not like I basically got not male but shitter.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, I've made a mistake here. Let me try and woo you back. Oh, sorry, it was we only spoke 4 days ago. You've been on 4 dates since then.
Oh yeah, the little dancing man was like, stand closer to her, closer, smell her hair. And then the boss tells her that she has to stop hiding behind her anonymity.
Oh, and the biggest surprise of the film, the boss wants them to meet old coach
meet the guy that's been griefing her online.
Yeah.
Now, are they trying to get rid of her so they can get someone else to take over the column? Because that's a surefire way to get stabbed, isn't it? Really?
Yeah.
Well, I'm seeing a sort of two-page spread where she's trying to bench the coach as an alternative agony aunt, where they both answer the same question from a different perspective.
Wow, that's
see, I saw it like a Rocky poster. Where they're both wearing boxing gloves and facing each other.
Also, at the end of the day, who cares? Who cares about this unveiling of an agony aunt?
Apparently, it's getting big figures.
Yeah,
but it
might well do.
Web counter, yeah. And then we have more lunging. 2 men in Lycra lunging at the top of a hill, having a conversation that no 2 men have ever had with each other, ever. Maybe that's just me. Maybe Anthony does have conversations like that with his real friends.
I have no real friends.
Well, with anyone. No one talks like that to each other.
No.
I don't think women talk like that to each other. It was just like...
You only ever see it in films.
Here's some plot points we need to get across.
Yeah. And then I feel sorry for Kit, because he goes into the coffee shop, and gets grief.
Yeah.
It's not his fault.
Again,
don't feel sorry for Kit. He's in a completely different movie that's happening unbeknownst to us.
He's in
absolutely unbeknownst to us.
Unbake My Heart or something like that.
I thought it was just getting. I thought somebody was flicking the channel between 2 films at a certain point, because I was like, "Why are we back in this goddamn coffee shop yet again?
Well,
why is he acting so awkward?"
He was to ask for a scone and to ask Prue out.
Yeah,
she wants nothing to do with it, because apparently
Prue is absolutely uninterested.
Well, no,
read the signals.
No, she's not sure. She had a heart broken by a customer
previously, and I was like, "Oh yeah, because he had
true.
tattoos, didn't he?"
Yeah.
Well, he doesn't know that, and she's giving him absolutely no signals that he's interested in the slightest.
She's got flour on her face. And
I assume,
flour on your face. That's a cute thing.
I assume this secondary film is the sequel to a previous film where they show a lot of them flirting and everything together.
Oh, I was just getting so sick of it, because it was bad enough that I was having to sit through this boring fucking non-dating that was going on. I was having to go then to transfer to someone who aren't dating at all. In fact, actively dislike each other over a coffee shop. In the meantime, the ex is going, "Harumph, why won't he go back out with me after I dumped him a week ago?"
I mean, this is why Unbake My Heart is a superior movie.
I like that title. I like that title a lot, Joe.
I told you, I can't get employed by Hallmark to write these things.
Right, so at this point we go to date number 5, which is the potluck.
No, they've got to walk in the park yet, because the dog's got to find a hidden heart.
Yeah, which I genuinely thought, I've got Busby finds a human body.
I thought it was going to be human. Or something that he's going to choke on, or something so that the vet could step in. No, it's a heart.
No, it's not important he's a vet anymore, Anthony.
This is a dog's paradise, she says. It's a park. No. It's a dog's paradise. It would be full of other dogs' bottoms, I'm guessing.
This is where she invites him to the family dinner.
Potluck.
It's
a potluck. It's a family potluck where only members of family bring something to this potluck. Anybody who isn't family doesn't get to bring anything. So why call it a potluck? Just bring a dish, everyone.
Also,
can you tell me what potluck is? I've never had this before.
Everybody brings everyone brings a dish, and then a
random dish.
Yeah, anything at random. There's no sort of plan for the evening done. We're not picking a cuisine or a type of food. Everybody just brings like a stew or like. So everyone sticks something in a slow cooker and then brings it over and bangs it on the table.
Right.
Because they're going to go to the deli on their dinner because he has to buy a lot of potato salad because that's what white people fucking love. Potato salad is the
Potato
worst of
salad's
all
not
food.
very popular in Britain, is it?
No, because it's gross. Who wants cold potatoes in
Yeah,
mayonnaise?
it seems to be a very American thing because I've never really.
Because
Yeah.
it's bland.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's awful.
You put the word salad in there, I'm out.
She also has an amazing array of hats in this film. Anytime she's outside, she's got a different hat on. And I was like, I only own 2 hats. I feel like I've missed out.
More hats than I own. I own a cap.
I'm literally looking at 3 hats in my sight line at the moment, so I can't count.
That's not true, Joe. You've got your backwards cap on now with your glasses and fringe.
Because I'm a child of the 90s.
She calls him out as well. It's at this point she calls. Sorry, let's say Coach calls out Bench.
Yep.
To meet.
Let's have a fight. I mean, let's just meet.
Yeah. And then we get to the family potluck meal.
Jeremy,
because we know one thing about trolls, it's that they want to be exposed for who they are.
Yeah.
And also, Avery's sister is married to non-union Will Arnett.
I kept forgetting that there actually was a husband. He just seemed to be walking around in the background holding plates most of the time.
Some speaking lines, I think.
See, I had him as non-union Kevin Costner.
Nah, that's fine. We get to the unveiling bit where the banner's behind her.
Oh wait, he wants to apologise first.
And now the mask. And I was like, okay.
He tells Kit that he's going to go on that he's going to turn up to this thing so he can apologise to her because he still doesn't know that it's Avery. And then we get to the bit where he's looking outside at a board that just has his name.
Yeah, so it's literally just something that they printed off that morning and slapped outside the office.
And he stares at it for a good 5 minutes until the other members of the family turn up.
Going, what are you doing here? Oh, hijinks, confusion.
I've got to say, he was reading the blog of hers where she was saying that she's met someone, she feels like she's moving on, she's like that. It all seems a bit coincidental if that's what you're reading, and that's the exact same thing that's happening to you.
If they weren't complete morons, he wanted to be a doctor. Now he just got to do dogs. So he's not the smartest bulb.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I've got written down here, why are so many people here for this agony aunt unveiling? What are they expecting when she finally steps out? Are they going to go, ooh, look, it's a random redhead who I do not know who the hell it is. It's not a celebrity.
If she was on stilts or like...
Hello, random stranger.
Yeah, I don't.
Oh, that's who it is. Right, we'll go then. Thanks for the gift bag.
Brendan bottles it and runs away.
Yeah,
of course he does, because we need some sort of conflict here. Not just, this is an even funnier story that we can tell on our 27th date tomorrow.
Where we go skydiving.
Yeah.
I've got a voucher for that. And then McKenna contacts her and tells her.
Yeah, she goes and turns up at a place of work.
Yeah, and goes full evil Stephanie.
Yeah, it's evil Stephanie again.
He goes full evil Stephanie. Just goes, Stephanie bye.
She tells Avery that it's Brandon, his bench, excuse me.
Yeah. And you told me to dump him. Why would you do that? Because he was a complete stranger at the time, and there must be some ulterior motive behind this. So I'll ruin your life.
No names were mentioned in our post.
And so they split up. She's like, oh, you said mean things to me, and now I'm sad. And I was like...
They never let each other explain things in these films.
No, I've literally got written down here, this is all being blown way out of proportion.
Anytime a breakup happens, it would be solved by going, just let me explain something.
No.
Explain it, and then they go, that makes sense. Kiss and make up. But no.
We've still got 20 minutes runtime to go here.
It's let me explain. No, I'm out.
I have to go now. Like, if she's been doing this for how long? She must have got grief on the internet beforehand.
You'd think so.
Yeah.
Because regardless of what you put on the internet,
I don't know. Readership was down.
Yeah, that's true.
The trolls have gone to the Portland Post.
Valentine's Day.
Agony aunt.
Valentine's Day trip to Roy's orgy. He's off. Roy's going to be gutted because it was all dudes apart from. And then I've just got this again.
Was that because it was Valentine's Day?
No, just like...
No. Is this where the dad shows up?
Yeah.
Well, everyone's miserable first on Valentine's Day.
Yeah, I've got dad comes over and essentially says, "Bitch, cheer up."
Yeah. He makes him a cup of coffee that has nothing in the cup, because when they put them down, they're very hollow sounding. And also, is it a prerequisite to be a dad in these films? Is that you have to wear a shirt with a jumper over the top?
Yes.
That's the standard uniform, I've noticed.
Yes.
Or you'll get them when you finally have a kid, Joe. You'll get like a handout with some nappies, and you'll get the prerequisite costume that is needed for the next 20 years of your life.
I've never seen you wear a shirt with a jumper over the top, Craig. I'm disappointed.
The thing I liked about this scene, after he leaves the dad, she tells herself, it's time the coach starts thinking about the team. Now, I think they had that little statement before the film, and that's why she became the coach. So they could shove that little saying in.
Does the team mean him?
I don't know. It never explained what it was. But I reckon one of the writers heard that and thought, I can put that in a film.
We get a different hat here. She's wearing a beret at this point.
Excellent. Hat watch continues.
That's on Hat Watch.
Well, I thought off a bit at this point. And then Jeremy Bolognaise tells us about his date that he went on.
Is this at the Christmas version of Valentine, the Valentine's version of Christmas Day, where they're all exchanging presents?
Well, it was at school, innit? And based on that episode of The Simpsons, I choose you. I'm guessing that they do swap card stuff. But
No, I meant at the family.
Yeah, because she goes out and just goes and buys presents.
Yeah.
And it's just like, why? You're going into Valentine's teddies in here, poster at the door.
But there's about 30 seconds where Jeremy just speaks in rhyme.
Really?
Yeah. I was like, he does like 4 lines, and I don't think it's intentional. Because like, even when he's reading...
That's the poor lad who's been sat on set for like 6 hours waiting to film this scene going, I'm going to entertain myself here. Let's make all these lines rhyme.
Because on about his date he went on with this girl and her mum. Or something. That's weird. I don't like that.
What's more concerning is that Avery took it to heart as some kind of life advice.
Hey, Jeremy
I'm a 6-year-old.
Sitting on all them Bolognese millions.
Yeah. Dropping life facts from a bloody toddler.
And then Kit comes into the thing. With...
Whoa. Sconesy McSconey.
Oh, sorry.
Sconesy McSconey. And then movie number 2 concludes with the cafe owner / manager / worker having a complete character turn that nobody sees coming. She literally goes into a completely different character.
No, she
said early on that she was thinking about it, yeah.
Yes, but no, she was still acting the same way that she was. She was still being very sort of cold and straight-faced throughout all these conversations.
No, to a man with a load of balloons, a big bear, and a heart-shaped box of chocolates. You know,
yeah.
Again, it's the dry ribs situation.
And then everyone claps.
Yeah.
If that happened over here, whew, I tried to think what kind of grief and abuse you'd get. Even if she said yes.
I think he's only in it for the free scones, to be honest.
Yeah, he loves them raspberry scones.
And then we get the great line from Brendan when he comes around to see her.
Oh, he apologises first via message.
Yeah, but he says, I'd like to do this in person rather than using my thumbs.
I've literally got, this is hard to do without using my thumbs. Ooh, Mr. Vet.
Yeah. The human bowling ball.
Yeah, then they kiss and make up. And then Spanish dancing.
Oh,
yeah, kiss, Spanish dancing.
Is it Spanish dancing? Because it would appear, if you look there, everyone is dancing to a different song. There's especially a tall guy on the left-hand side with glasses who is doing the whitest dancing I've ever seen.
That's because there's no music being played. It's just the director going, and you're dancing, and you're dancing, and you're dancing, and cut.
So at the very least, people were dancing and Spanish music was played to us.
And again, not a single Hispanic in sight.
No.
I want to know as well.
A woman in Spanish dress at the back of the thing where the musicians should have been. They weren't doing anything. I think they were just brought in to meet some sort of diversity quota or something. I don't know. And we fade out and they live happily ever after.
Fade out credits.
What would you give that out of 10 then, boys?
For me, because I did enjoy moments of it.
Yeah.
I gave it 5 out of 10.
Oh, I was a little bit more generous at 6.5.
Well, that's fine.
Yeah.
See, I have a score written down here, but after revisiting it and talking about it with you guys, I think I've way over-egged this. So I had originally put 7.2 down.
Whoa,
I am now cancelling. No, I'm now, after remembering this, I think I'm going to have to put it down to a 6.6.
I only gave it 6.5. The film as a whole was fine. There was just a few too many boring bits in the middle for me, and I thought,
it was just movie number 2. Movie number 2 just baffled me. It was just like, why is this? It's all right to have a subplot where your best friend is dating the girl's best friend, but it seemed to be like a completely different movie.
Yeah, You get twice as much movie for your hour and a half.
You have to get to those 90 minutes
somehow. Yeah.
Yeah.
There wasn't a series of outtakes in there.
Yeah.
Still not as good as Over the Moon in Love for me, but it was.
I think I can't remember what I had last week, but I think I thought relatively similar.
Yeah, it was fine. I think it was better. It was better shot and better acted. I think the caliber of acting was better this week
had
than
better actors.
Yeah.
Yeah, you actually had actors.
But the start of Valentine's month, it's a fine start.
It's a decent start.
It did what it said on the tin.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Maybe a little too much.
Craig facts.
Craig facts time.
Craig facts.
Excellent. So, the film aired on the 31st of January in the year of 2016 as part of the Countdown to Valentine's Day run on Hallmark. It attracted 1.7 million viewers, which, as it turns out, was the third lowest rated film of the year for the network. So,
really,
yeah, it was the lowest rated Valentine's film, and it was the third lowest rated film throughout all the year of Hallmark originals.
That's disappointing.
I know, considering he was in it. Cast-wise, we had Sarah Rafferty as our main lead, who is best known for attending Meghan Markle's wedding.
Speaking of Meghan Markle, I've just noticed now, the film that was released the week before this, the day before this, was starring Meghan Markle.
The elusive Meghan Markle one that I can't find streaming anywhere.
It's on DVD.
I'm not paying for it. Them Hallmark films are like 25 quid a pop on DVD. They can go a whistle.
All right. Sorry, can I continue with the facts?
That's fine. Sam Page, who has turned into a career Hallmarker, but as you've said before, he has appeared in plenty of other things, including Mad Men, and he's appeared in 2 out of the 4 CSIs. That would be New York and Miami.
Oh, I hope we get one day with someone who's done like the 4 of them, whatever.
All 4.
Yeah. It's 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've got CSI, you've got Miami, you've got New York, and you've got Cyber.
Anything else?
Jeremy Gilbert, who was the best friend
Kit
/ covert Kit. Yep, another career Hallmarker, and also star of Air Bud 3 World Pup.
Nice.
Did you say he was called
which
Jeremy?
I'm presuming is the soccer Air Bud.
Did you say he was called Jeremy?
Jeremy, yes.
We've had 3 Jeremys then. So you've got Jeremy the kid.
The character is called Jeremy.
This guy's called Jeremy, and you said that Samuel, main actor guy, played someone called Jeremy and something else. I've not heard the name Jeremy for a while.
The famous line from Kimmy Schmidt is "Troll the respawn, Jeremy," and I don't know whether that's to him or to his friend that he said. I can't remember. I've not watched him in a while.
It's just I've not heard the name Jeremy for quite a long time, and now we've had it 3 times.
Pearl Jam.
Excellent. And finally, the director Gary Harvey seems to have been a sort of knockoff Canadian TV director. Directed episodes of The New Addams Family in the 90s, which nobody watched. The TV series of Call of the Wild, which nobody watched, before moving on to Hallmark recently with such stellar titles as Walking the Dog and Welcome
Can
to
we
Christmas.
find that one, please?
They are just the laziest titles.
I'm walking the dog for 90 minutes.
I'm looking forward to Joe's description of that. When we get ready to watching it.
Yo-yo champion Steve.
Oh, I like this.
Oh, that's wow.
Thus ends Craig Facts for this week.
Okay, are we going to do the new segment of reviews?
Reviews.
Yeah.
So, I've trolled through IMDb and Amazon and several other review sites. This doesn't have any on Rotten Tomatoes.
Well,
0 then.
So I will start with one from Buffy Terry, who says he gave it 1 star.
Terry.
He has a similar problem with it as you do, Craig. The story took the guy from one woman and gave it to another and left the woman alone. So sad. I thought this was about love and not how one woman gets the guy and leaves the other woman, doesn't get a guy and is left alone. So clearly someone's just been dumped before.
Yeah.
This is by Brad Steele. This is a long one. This is a 10 out of 10.
Steele.
Nice.
This movie is called All Things Valentine. And boy, does it have a cute dog. It stars a woman.
Did you write this, Joe?
Brad Steele is not one of my alter egos. Jeremy Bolognaise. It stars a woman with red hair from Suits and Joan's husband from Mad Men. They are supposed to be in love, but we learn early on Love is a challenging mistress. This is the best line. The clothing was futuristic and the music was promising.
The clothing was futuristic.
I remember that bit where they were all dressed in tinfoil suits. The dog does beep a lot, so that could be like where you got confused.
There it is.
Secret sci-fi.
Right, now let's talk about the subplot. I was scared when the veterinarian's friend wouldn't leave that woman at the bakery shop alone. Her name is Prudence, or maybe Prue isn't short for Prudence. Love is a challenging mistress.
I should be writing more.
And then I think this just has a breakdown then. Where did they buy all the flowers from? We would have appreciated a scene in a flower shop to clear up this confusion.
Obviously.
He's right. We would have appreciated that.
I mean, I always appreciate a thing, especially if the flowers are all sexy flowers.
Yeah. Symbolism.
Also, I'd like to know more about the ex-girlfriend and where she bought her makeup. Does she have an older sister?
We know enough about it. We know more than we need to know about the ex.
That's someone's just train of thought. And finally, from Jane Honor Mitchell, 5-star review on Amazon. The case was excellent, and the DVD was not purple on the bottom.
Good. So it wasn't a rewritable DVD then.
All Things Valentine was everything I expected it to be. The case was excellent, and the DVD was not purple on the bottom. The quality of the movie was very good, not one flaw. I would recommend this movie. It has a story with a twist of love and heartfelt emotions worth seeing and buying. So, yeah, that's the best three I could get. There's not a lot of them out there that aren't just, this is great Hallmark movie. But,
yeah, well, that's because Hallmark tend to have their fans and they will rate it 10 out of 10, no matter what. As Twitter has been blowing up with Snow Kissed from last night, where they're just retweeting everything.
Yeah, I know.
This is just amazing.
But, you know, love is a challenging mistress.
It is a challenging mistress.
And we would have appreciated knowing where they got the flowers from.
Would we? Would it add anything to a plot?
I, for one,
this
would have
film was long
appreciated
enough. We didn't need another date in a flower shop.
We did, especially with a sexy flower assistant. Yeah.
Yeah, saying flowers have symbolised love, and this flower also symbolises love.
Yes. It's the same florists. They must have it on a retainer.
You mean flowers by
flowers,
Doris?
flowers.
So in conclusion, that was All Things Valentine. As always, if you'd like to keep up to date with everything Hallmark of Greatness, you can follow the show on Twitter at Hallmark of Great, or get in touch by email, hallmarkofgreatness@gmail.com. We appreciate every kind of recommendation or any thoughts or anything else that you've got. We would love that.
We will usually announce the film that we're watching on either the Friday or the Saturday before the episode drops. So if you would like to watch along, they are usually available either on Amazon or on YouTube, wink, wink. So you can find it for free on there. So we will be posting that either on the Friday or Saturday before to give you a chance to catch up and know what we are talking about.
And then the show, I believe, gets released on the Tuesday morning, is it?
Tuesday
morning.
Tuesday morning, first thing.
Britain.
Yeah.
British time.
Gives you the weekend to have a glass of wine and talk about.
Take your own notes, yeah. And then get in touch with the show and tell us what we may have missed.
Yeah, please do.
Any final thoughts, boys?
No, I'm excited for Valentine's season now, though.
Yeah, whole month of Valentine's films.
Yeah, I really hope that next month it is an actual film rather than 2 45 minutes film sandwiched together into one.
Are you Bradford? Are you sure you're not? All I have to say is, love is a challenging mistress.
Thanks for listening, everyone.
Goodbye.
See you next week, guys.